get things started. Ready? Go!
Hello and welcome to Bounding Into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding Into Comics. Today I got a story about Spider-Man No Way Home and Hacksaw Ridge actor Andrew Garfield recently weighing in on Hollywood's current casting practices and the discussion surrounding whether or not certain actors can play certain characters. Speaking with The Telegraph about his latest film on Netflix, Tick, Tick, Boom, Garfield was asked about Hollywood's casting practices and whether or not straight actors can play gay characters. Garfield responded, "I think it's two different conversations getting conflated. One is about equality of opportunity, and I'm completely in on that, because we should want a world in which no matter your sexual orientation, your color, or your heritage, everyone gets a fair whack. But the other is about empathic imagination, and if we only allow people to be cast as exactly who they are, it'll be the death of it." Garfield then added, "So the two separate conversations have to happen simultaneously, because I'm not willing to support the death of empathic imagination. It's what we need most as a culture, and it's beautiful. It's the only thing that's going to save us right now." Garfield's comments are similar to recent comments made by Ian McKellen, known for his roles as Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, as well as his role as Magneto in the X-Men franchise. Speaking with BBC media editor Amal Rajan about the criticism surrounding Helen Mirren taking on the role of Israeli Prime Minister Golda Meir in the biopic Golda, McKellen said, "There are two things. Is the argument that a Gentile cannot play a Jew, and is the argument, therefore, that a Jew cannot play a Gentile?" He continued his questioning, asking, "Is the argument that a straight man cannot play a gay part, and if so, does that mean I can't play straight parts, and I'm not allowed to explore the fascinating subject of heterosexuality in Macbeth?" "Surely not," McKellen concluded. "We're acting, we're pretending." Both actors make valid points. However, the discussion is also a little bit more complex than both make it out to be. Actors should be cast to match up to how their characters have been previously portrayed in the source material that is being adapted or how the historical figure looked in real life. Casting directors should not be casting Scarlett Johansson to play Ronald Reagan. In fact, they shouldn't be casting any female actors to play a male character. That's not to say that Scarlett Johansson should not be cast to play Dante Tex Gill, a gangster and massage parlor owner born in 1952 that was born female but dressed like a man. That character was supposed to be the protagonist of a film titled Rub and Tug that Johansson was producing and starring in, but when she received backlash from transgender activists, she dropped the project completely, and we have not heard any word about that film whatsoever since then. And just as female actors should not be cast to play a male character, male actors should not be cast to play a female character. This should be common sense, but in today's Hollywood, they seem to have thrown that attribute away, out the window, into the trash can, whatever euphemism you want to use, they've done away with it. Not only should actors' gender align with the character's gender, but other physical attributes such as race should align as well. That's not to say you need a one-to-one match. The actor should be able to look like the character. You shouldn't have Nicolas Cage playing Black Panther or Ryan Gosling playing Martin Luther King Jr. or Denzel Washington playing Bruce Lee. As such, you shouldn't have Candace Patton playing Lois Lane or Tandy Newton playing Queen Elizabeth or Simu Liu playing Bass Reeves. These actors don't align with the characters they would be playing. In fact, they don't look like them whatsoever, and they clearly should not be cast in those roles because they don't look like the characters. Again, this is common sense, yet as we see time and time again, Hollywood doesn't have common sense, and they completely ignore the characters' previous portrayals in other medium or even in previous films and television shows. At the same time, a person's sexual orientation should not prevent them from playing any characters because their sexual orientation has nothing to do with their physical appearance and the physical appearance of the character. Ian McKellen is a perfect example. He's a gay man who played a heterosexual man in Magneto in the X-Men franchise, as well as playing Gandalf, whose sexual orientation is never even discussed in the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. Neil Patrick Harris is another example. He's also a gay man who played a heterosexual man in Gone Girl. You also have Sean Penn, a heterosexual man who played gay activist Harvey Milk. So we have plenty of examples of that happening, but now there's this trend where only a gay person can play a gay character, which again is utterly ridiculous and is kind of against common sense because in my opinion, when you are looking to cast someone, they need to look like that character. They don't need to be one-to-one. They don't need to be super specifics, but they need to be believable as that character. So there is some complexity to this discussion that I don't think Garfield or McKellen really touch on. But I also believe that that complexity can be reduced down to a very simple rule. Actors should be cast to match the characters they are playing, especially if there are clear descriptors of what the character looks like found in the source material or in real life. If there are no clear descriptors, you want to get the best person for the role, and that choice will obviously be a decision left to the director, casting director, producers, studio executives, whoever else is involved in making that decision to get that character on screen. And they want to cast the best. You would hope they want to cast the best person for that role. And then obviously, though, we have movie magic. That is a thing, and I don't think age is really a requirement when it comes to ensuring an actor looks like the character. The stuff they can do with makeup can make one look a whole lot older, and in some cases younger as well. And that's not even mentioning the de-aging technology they are constantly improving. I think maybe the most recent example is just looking what they did with Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He was a complete transformation. He didn't look anything like Colin Farrell. He looked like a version of the Penguin that you could see in the comic book. As I previously mentioned, this simple idea has been rejected by Hollywood. They don't care if the characters match up with the source material, especially if those characters happen to be white and male, especially in our more recent times. They are willing to race and gender swap to their heart's content, but rarely do you ever see those race and gender swaps going the other way. You just have to look at Amazon Studios' The Rings of Power or anything Marvel Studios has put out over the last year. It's all been race and gender swap, and that trend is going to continue. I don't see it changing anytime soon, and it's unfortunate because it's not how they should be doing the casting. They should be casting people that look like those characters, or at least can pull off what that character looks like. Obviously, again, they don't have to be exactly one-to-one. Those are my thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you think. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics.